Patches? Patches? We don't need no stinging patches. Oh, lordy. Patches are us. Patches everywhere. Alright, so, yeah. We bought a lot of patches. Not all were defective. Good amount were defective, but we're sorting through them, making some lots. Get some lots going. There's a lot of this mix on the interwebs already, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You never know. Alright, so we're gonna get into some solds. This just sold about a half hour ago. What can I say about this? It's pretty sweet. I can say that much. Sony vintage mini TV, solid state, tested, working. Decently clean. Could have cleaned it up a little better. Well, sold for $125. This TV is done. I would say it did that because it's got all the attachments on the back. And I tested it and it works, so nice piece. On to the next. This is all just what's sold for the weekend of the long weekend. So all this stuff I haven't been able to ship. Everything I'm going to show you. So all weekend sales. Showed you this in the last video. I'll show you again in case you didn't see it. Probably only like 10 people saw it. So vintage colored pencils. They do about $1 each. This particular brand. So that's going out. That's sold for $42. I picked these in the you can see these in the haul video of eBay reseller. I bought these off eBay reseller, a friend of mine that passed away. He had cancer, died of lung cancer about 3 months ago. Dane. So this came out of Dane's house. Good pick. On to the next. This knife I just picked up yesterday. Yesterday or Saturday. I think it was yesterday. I don't even remember. But yeah, I think I picked this up after the flea market. $26 for about almost 29. This was one of the knives. I could have put a little bit higher of a price on this bad boy. It's nice. It's a Soldier, so it's German. It's got a nice motif. Pigs and a dog. So it's like a gutting. It's like a gutting knife. Very sharp. Good condition. I put 32 on it. Probably could have put $39.99, but sold. Got my money back and taxes paid. Boom, boom. Fees. Everything. Done. One knife. So I grind out the rest. Alright, off to the next. Alright, this knife I got in the yard sale about 3 weeks ago. This just sold for $32.99. 31071 Zilwing in Heckelns, sold in Germany. Nice solid knife. Showed you guys this in a haul video. I think I was a little high. I brought the price down a little. I looked at it a little more and didn't think that it was actually a $50 knife, so I brought it down to about $32, and it sold. It's a good knife. I didn't want to sit on it for $50, so 32. See you later. See you later. Hope you find a good home cutting tomatoes. Alright, this just sold for 42 this morning. $42.99. This is like a mix of wrenches and hand drivers. It's a nice little mix. I'll put this in a padded and put some bubble mailer around it. Should be pretty protected, but I sold this as a vintage bicycle repair kit. So the whole thing's a one kit. 42 bucks. Bunch of wrenches. Sorry for the shaking. Yeah, bunch of wrenches, screwdrivers, just stuff like that. Make little lots and get rid of it. And bring this at the flea, I'd get haggled like nothing. Not even like a couple bucks each. So at the flea, I could have probably grinded this down to about 30 tops if I had to, and it would have taken, you know, a couple runs. So good sale. Some weird reason I've been on a tear with knives this weekend. So it's a Japanese slicer. It's not the greatest quality. It's a chintzy wood handle. The steel doesn't feel overly great, but I'm sure it's a decent cutter. And yeah, this sold for $29.99. Not bad. I don't even think I paid $1 for this. I don't pay a lot for kitchen knives. Obviously, $1's pretty good for me. On to the next. This one just sold about 10 minutes ago. It's a buck 102. It's in good shape. It's still got a halfway decent point. I could have showed him that point a little bit more. Let me take a look at this. He might not be happy with that, but this sold cheap. I'm going to give him 2 sheaths. I sold it without a sheath. He asked me if it had a sheath. I said no. I gave him a picture of, I don't know, 6 or 7 sheaths. I told him to pick one. He said, pick whichever one's adequate for that knife. So I figured this black one was good for it. It's a little bouncy out of it, but it's good enough. I'm going to give him this one in case if he's got a little pocket knife he wants to throw in there. That's decent. Button still works, so we'll get that. It was $19.99. All this is plus adequate shipping. My shipping's pretty on point. I do quoted shipping. I just look at that item and I go, how much does it cost me to ship this to California? $6. 6 or 7 bucks. 6 or 7 bucks. $6 or $7. So that's kind of how I gauge it. All my quoted shipping ends in a 1. Gotta love that 1 on the end shipping. That's what I do. So everything ends in a 1. 621, 681, 661 on the shipping. And all my prices end in 99, just like a store. Alright, on to the next. Alright, I showed you this in the other video that I just posted. This is the passing eye mirror. Passing eye mirror. So this just sold. I should have priced it at $175, like I said on the last video. It sold for $168, and a lot of pain and a lot of haggling for about 3 months on this thing because I priced it wicked high and it didn't have the bracket. If you find that, you want to have that bracket in there. If not, price it to move. Alright? And that one's pretty pitted too, so 168 with that pitting. I don't know if that could be chromed over, maybe. But all in all, good sale. What did I pay for that? That was in a bulk buy and an estate sale. I think that's in a haul video. You gotta go back to the haul video. I think I paid $150 for everything in the haul, and one item that I picked out of the haul sold for $300 right off the cuff within a week. So the haul's been long paid for, and that's just pure profit right there. Boom. Money, money, money. On to the next. Alright, this is it's a vintage paint lot. They're all old modeling paints. There's about 20 paints in there. These usually cost about $3 each. So, you could paint a couple good model cars with that. Good amount of model cars with that. There's some common colors. Some acetone in there. So this sold for $19.99 plus shipping. On to the next. Alright, sometimes I just make little lots to take a little gamble on them, and rather than bring something like this to the flea market and let it go for, I don't know, $2, $3 I would get for that. And I would probably struggle to get $5 for this. It is a Stanley, but when it comes down to hammers and at the flea market, people don't really care. They just see it as a use. Like, oh, it's a chisel, you know? That chisel hammer. A roofing hammer, or whatever, grout hammer. That's like a rock hammer. Because I sold this as a mason lot. Yeah, so I think this would be a mason's hammer. So, no one's going to give me more than $5 for this mason hammer. It's good, though. I mean, if you had to buy it, it'd be at least $20, but... So I threw it on there, little lot. Grout tool. Mason hammer. It's like the perfect combo for doing block work. I'm sure some Portuguese guy bought this. I'll have to look at the name. No stereotype, but Portuguese guys are the best at block work, so I wouldn't doubt that a Portuguese guy bought this. Alright, on to the next one. This is an oldie but goodie. Everyone likes this knife. This is an old 90s era knife that just about every 18-year-old had one of these. This is a Spyderco. I remember Hunis had a nice Spyderco. But this is a nice Spyderco. It's not a Seca City, but it's a Seca. So, nice piece. It's good condition. Looks pretty sharp. Needs a little cleaning, but overall, nice knife. This sold for, I think, $19.99. $19.99. And I don't know if I gave you a price on that.
3, 2, 1.
$29.99. And everything's plus shipping. Adequate shipping. More than adequate. On to the next. Alright, last item for the night. Possibly, because I still got to do some more listing, and you know how that goes. So maybe I'll bang out 2 more sales. It would be divine. This is a people lot I bought for $10. I think I have a couple more pieces out of this. And then obviously I have the dog. I showed you the dog in the last video. And this sold for $2.10 plus $42 to ship it. And I just got to wrap the the animals. And this should be good to go. So, $210 for that. Paid $10, and that was the last item. So yeah, that was a pretty good day of sales. Not too bad. I have had better weeks, but that's a pretty good week. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's close to 600 or 700 going out. That's more than adequate for me, considering I gotta pack all this. I'm gonna pack most of this tonight, and I'm standing in a pile of patches, so I gotta go through these patches, and yeah, buried knee deep in patches. So keep picking. Peace. Doesn't work. Alright, so now I'm going through the knives, the belt of knives. I'll throw that on the table and see a better idea again. And all the patches. Those will need some separation, and separate them. Oh my god, my stomach. Separate them and throw them in a baggie. And those are good. We get these 2 duplicate bridges. Oh yeah. Steve, check these out. I found these at the flea market. Steve, check these out. Yeah, I don't know what those are gonna do. We could grind them out too. We're gonna grind those out for Steve.